Falkner went way too hard for a first gym leader. This policeman soars around on hang gliders with a hoot-hoot while dreaming of becoming a flying type master, like a day 1 trainer who got too attached to his route 1 bird. While we underestimated him, he took it personally and showed us he was the real deal by sending out Pidgeot to smack around Charizard and push it to the limit in a nail-biting showdown. He was a serious competitor with a sky-sized chip on his shoulder, constantly trying to prove that his gym leader position was earned and not handed to him by his dad, even though it kinda was. His determination took him from bird guy to flying type expert, so respect him when he talks about majestic birds, because you're gonna need to deal with Pidgeot and Lugia. Holy! Falkner is the flying type gym leader of Violet City in the Johto region and the very first hurdle in Generation 2. His father, Walker, was the previous flying type gym leader of Violet City. Should have been Flyer, eh? Hey? No? Well, he's a respected trainer who built the gym's reputation long before Falkner ever put on the uniform. Taking over should have been an honor, even though his dad ran away. Instead, this became his biggest challenge. Every battle is a chance to prove that he wasn't a new guy keeping a seat warm. He wanted this position to be on his own merits. Falkner looks exactly like what would happen if a flock of Pidgeotto raised a teenager. Sharp blue hair swept back like wings, loose traditional clothing, and an expression that says he spent far too much time standing dramatically on rooftops and absorbing wind or something so he could become a bird. Even his names reflect that obsession. Falkner comes from Falconer, a person who practices falconry, the art of training birds of prey to hunt. His Japanese name, Hayato, can be associated with the peregrine falcon, the world's fastest bird, which is also what his ace Pidgeot is partly based on. Subtle, Game Freak. Since he believes his father is the world's greatest trainer, Falkner is interesting for being forced to answer a question a lot of people face in real life. How do you build your own identity when everyone keeps comparing you to the person who came before you? Such as an older sibling in school. Living in someone's shadow is exhausting, making him very relatable. So I guess Falkner's story is about stepping out of that shadow and taking off with his own wings. Ash and crew get to Violet City and Pikachu gets kidnapped by Team Rocket. Shocker. Heracross decides to suck on suspicious liquids instead of help, and out of nowhere swoops in a funny-looking blue-haired bird guy on a hand glider. That's Falkner, a man on a mission to master the flying type. I'm itching to know his first inspirational line.
You know what to do.
And for the love of God, not another one. Hoot-Hoot rockets in and takes Pikachu at blinding speed. And by that, I mean he's so slow that even a blind man could see him coming. Arbok shoots Falkner out of the sky, so he sends out Pidgeot to catch him. Did they really think they could keep the bird guy out of the sky? Give me a break. Pidgeot blasts them into orbit, while Ash has been reduced to a cheerleader. Falkner returns Pikachu to Ash, and the crew are like, damn, that Pidgeot is beefy. I'd love to have a bite. Ash and Falkner bond over Pidgeot as Ash reminisces about his own, and Falkner can instantly tell they shared an incredible bond. Although Ash doesn't admit he's a filthy liar because he didn't return to visit it for the next million episodes. Falkner gets all deep, saying the only thing better than watching a Pidgeot in the sky is flying around with it. He hopes that Ash will reunite with his Pidgeot, and Falkner is really touching all of our hearts right now. Falkner explains that flying types are his favorite. Wow, we had no idea. And his goal is to be the best flying type trainer. Since he was young, he always dreamed of flying through the sky, and now he finally can with Pidgeot. He looks Ash straight in the eye and talks about how mad he always gets when people disrespect flying types by saying they don't stand a chance against electric types. Why would he say this? It's not like he's going to battle Ash and Pikachu, right? Oh wait, he's the gym leader of Violet City and totally going to battle Ash and Pikachu in about 15 seconds. They're already at the Sky Gym, and the pre-battle ritual is to subscribe to my channel so I can keep pumping out content like this for everyone's enjoyment and to reach our huge goal of 2,500 subs and 100 likes. Thanks for the support and enjoy the rest of the video. Falkner throws out that hoot-hoot on his shoulder and Ash uses Chikorita. Falkner says, terrible matchup, you're a fake Pidgeot trainer, while Ash is like, hold the shuckle up. Didn't you just cry about people saying electric types beat flying types? So Fire's back with a real Pidgeot trainer would know type matchups aren't everything. They've known each other for 10 minutes and they've already become best friends, broken up and started beefing. Falkner's like, ladies first, and Chikorita begins with the laziest Vine Whip. Hoot-Hoot's kind of fast for a fat bowling ball and dodges 2 Vine Whips and just tackles Chikorita, then pecks the hell out of it. Hoot-Hoot doesn't get hit once, making Chikorita look silly before another tackle takes it out. Pikachu steps in and uses agility to crank its speed into overdrive. It dodges Hoot-Hoot's attacks and shocks the ever-living Hoots out of it, and makes easy work of it with Quick Attack. Dodrio comes out and matches Pikachu's agility with its own. Ash begins to trash talk like, that fake-ass bird can't fly, and you're a fake master of the skies. Falkner's like, if that's what you believe, then check this out. And Dodrio jumps really high, like really high. Yeah, that's still not flying, guy. He's like, I can fly, look here, but Fury attacks and drill pecks the little rat, and Falkner's licking his lips. As Dodrio charges up Tri-Attack, Pikachu springs off of one of its heads. Pretty rude, and somehow jumps even higher than Dodrio did. Look at this guy's face. Dodrio's 3 brains are still jingled as it stands there like a sitting Psyduck for Pikachu to thunder it into oblivion. Falkner's cheerleaders are like, let's go Dodrio, and Dodrio, he can do it. He's really doing it. With the power of friendship, he faceplants the floor. Falkner's like, maybe he was a fake-ass bird, and sends out Pidgeot. Pikachu's already out of it. Thunderbolt can't even reach Pidgeot, and it gets blown away by a non-damaging whirlwind. But who cares because Charizard is out now. Falkner finally gets excited, and when you think about it, Charizard and Pidgeot would have folded everything else on the field without breaking a sweat. So the real battle starts now. The stare down is intense as they take off to the skies, and Charizard is having a tough time landing Flamethrower. Agility is making Pidgeot reach a speed of Mach 2. Pidgeot whirlwinds back a Flamethrower, causing Charizard to come crashing down and badly injuring its wing. Pidgeot's like, oh, you have a bad wing, how about you have this wing? To the neck. These wing attacks and quick attacks leave poor Charizard bouncing around like luggage at an airport. And Brock shouts, do something. Ash is thinking, I should have left this dingus back in Pewter City. Falkner's like, you should quit, you big quitter. With your fake dragon. That plucked a nerve, so Ash channels the plot armor to make Charizard fly with an injured wing. Pidgeot's cruising through the sky pretending to be a plane, then remembers it's in a battle and quickly teleports behind Charizard for a cheap shot. Charizard's like, maybe I'll try the exact same thing again, and gets done even worse than the first time. You know it's bad when its tongue is out. Ash adapts and tells Charizard to use Fire Spin behind itself, and luckily for him, this fast as hell Pidgeot with super senses is deaf in one ear and flies straight into the Fire Spin. And Brock is still shouting useful advice like, don't let it fly away. Charizard gets up close and personal to take Pidgeot on a roller coaster ride around the world and slam it straight on its head with Seismic Toss. Then it strikes a pose. Not even close, baby. That was insanely close. Pidgeot is out and Charizard is the winner, but the real winner is Brock. You did good, Brock. You did good. Falkner congratulates Ash on completely turning the battle around through sheer determination and clever adaptation, and awards him the Zephyr Badge, then wishes him luck on the rest of his Johto journey. That's the last we see of the Master of the Skies. And he left us thinking, aren't gym leaders supposed to match their opponent's levels based on their gym badges? Falkner just saw Ash with no badges and brought along an absolute behemoth that slapped around Charizard for 90% of the battle. That's a pretty hardcore first gym. Falkner first appears in the Generation 2 games as the first gym leader. He was gifted his gym thanks to Dad, who left him to go fly around with birds. So maybe not thanks Dad, but he wants to be like his dad. So good Dad. He has a rivalry with Janine because they both inherited their father's gyms and they both have daddy issues. After making it to Violet City, you can challenge Falkner's flying type gym right away. In Gold, Silver and Crystal, his gym is like a floating blue brick platform, and you have to battle those loser bird trainers to get to Falkner. Their Pokemon are all underleveled at 7 and 9, so you'll breeze through them. Then you'll battle Falkner, and it's funny that he's salty about electric types for the same reason as in the anime. He has a level 7 Pidgey who sucks, while his ace is a level 9 Pidgeotto. People like to shout, wow, he's a hacker, blah blah. You can get this guy at level 9 in Viridian Forest in yellow, debunked right here. Pidgeotto is usually not a problem, but this early in the game, its stats are probably higher than anything you've seen up until this point. It's a fair battle, but you're likely going to struggle with the hard-hitting Gust and the accuracy-reducing Mud Slap. Basically, he's a gentle, welcome to the region fight. Unless you chose Chikorita, then it's a get bent kind of fight. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, his gym is way cooler. You step onto a platform and are launched up to the second floor where the trains are waiting on another hovering platform. But this time there's a glass path going around the edges, so you don't even need to battle those losers and can get straight to Falkner. Thank heavens he got a level buff in this version, with a level 9 Pidgey who's still useless, and a level 13 Pidgeotto, a second stage evolution probably matching your starter's level. It loses Mud Slap, retains Gust, and has the most annoying move known to early game man, Roost. Seriously, don't even think about chipping away at him and hoping to edge out the win, because Roost is gonna ruin your day. It heals way too much, and you'll need to just throw everything and the kitchen sink. He gives you the TM for Mud Slap in the original games and Roost in the remakes, along with the Zephyr Badge. You can find him shopping in the Celadon department store on a Monday, and he looks like he's having some saucy time with his crush, I mean his rival, Janine. They're arguing about whose dad is better. Better at what? Running away? But really, they're just flirting. He gives you his phone number and tells you to contact him so you can both talk about his dad. Bro, I just want a rematch. Anyway, his rematch team looks like an actual flying team. Staraptor, Noctowl, Swellow, Honchkrow, Pelipper, and Pidgeot, ranging from levels 48 to 56. Really cool, but he never fully escapes the reality that specifically bird flying types are just kind of crap. and get outscaled hella fast, and do lose to electric types. He leads with Staraptor, the biggest threat, with U-turn, close combat, and Brave Bird to rattle your brain. Noctowl is pretty bulky, but its less than average offensive stats make it a walk in the park. Honchkrow is a heavy hitter, although its lack of diversity in move typing makes it an easy target. Pelipper actually has a great moveset with Ice Beam, Surf, Hidden Power Fighting, and Tailwind. Lastly, he has Guts, Flame Orb, Facade, Swallow. Oh no, that's a competitive strat. Yeah, but that's his only damaging attack. While his trusty ace Pidgeot also only has a normal type damaging attack. So all ghost types are basically Shedinja against them. If you want to battle peak Falkner, make your way to the Pokemon World Tournament where he's sporting Pidgeot, Fearow, Dodrio, Honchkrow, Xatu, and Noctowl. Pidgeot is going to hit fairly hard with Brave Bird and Heat Wave, and is sure to dip out with U-turn and set up a Tailwind before going down. Fearow has Drill Run to finally cover his electric type weakness. About time. Dodrio is there to bash its head into you with Brave Bird while taking itself out to recoil. He does have a very interesting special Honchkrow with Nasty Plot, Icy Wind, and Dark Pulse, which should be eliminated as soon as possible. Xatu doesn't do too much, but don't let it set up Calm Mind. And Noctowl can be annoying with Hypnosis and Dream Eater. He also has a Crobat and Aerodactyl if you battle his Type Expert team. Yes, the guy finally became a flying expert. To be honest, you're not going to have a problem with him. You should be begging to be matched up with him in the tournament to get a free win. And you're still going to be waiting for him to show you the real power of magnificent bird Pokemon. What a big fat fraud. Even his Japanese event team is just Noctowl, Pidgeot, and a freaking Lugia. Oh, if only I had simply read Japanese and translated with my built-in brain translator. This event is called the Battle Between Legendary Pokemon. But seriously, where the hell did he get this thing? God damn it, now I look like a fool as I miss every single Stone Edge and he aeroblasts my balls off. Now you know the real power of bird Pokemon? Yeah, well, shut up. In the Pokemon Adventures manga, Gold gets knocked out cold by Team Rocket. A while later, Falkner shows up as a police officer as Gold regains consciousness, and takes him in for interrogation as he's the only person who saw Silver, the suspect for a garden fire. Gold gives a fake description because even in manga, people hate the police, and he's free to go. Falkner runs into Gold again while he's off duty, and they recognize each other. Falkner expresses his desire to become the Violet City gym leader and take over from the former leader who is also his father, Walker. They get attacked by a random Skarmory, take it down, and Falkner's now got a Pokemon that everyone wanted him to have a long time ago, just like his pops. What a great call from the fans, because that Skarmory was used during his examination, and your boy Falkner passes to become a gym leader. Falkner takes his job very seriously and is constantly training to become the best. While training, he encounters a Pocho who shows off all the Pokemon he stole to a policeman. It can't get worse, right? Wrong, because Raikou and Entei come out of nowhere and start scaring them for fun. Their presence is making Falkner freak out, so he tries to fight them off. They're way too fast for him, he can't land a single hit, even with Swift, a move that never misses. They try to blow him up with a combination of Fire Blast and Thunder, and somehow he gets out and finds an opening to attempt to capture the beasts. Yeah, we all know how it goes trying to catch these guys on full health. To make matters worse, Suicune comes to intervene and block the Pokeballs. Suddenly, it's 3 versus 1. Falkner is loving the challenge and decides to go all in versus Suicune. Skarmory flies in with Steel Wing and hits Suicune on its rock-hard head with such force that it shatters its own wing. Skarmory was doing well against Suicune until Raikou and Entei re-entered the fight. Skarmory loses a feather and therefore its balance during the fight, causing it to go crashing towards the ground. But Suicune saves them and leaves with the other beasts. Turns out Suicune is just going around testing trainers to find someone who's worthy of helping it save the world against the terror that is the Masked Man. Falkner's like, talk about a crazy Wednesday. By the way, Poacher, Officer Falkner of Violet City, you're coming with me, wise guy. Once the Masked Man blows up the world a little bit more, the gym leader tournament is hosted to find the man, as he's supposedly a gym leader. Falkner's first match in this tournament is against Janine. They're the third match, and they're introduced as rookie gym leaders. They begin with Noctowl versus Grimer. Grimer's like, check this out, I can get really small, and minimizes to almost invisibility before playing Sludge Bomb target practice with Noctowl. Noctowl does a great job evading the attacks and goes for Foresight to reveal Grimer's position and leave it exposed. Slimy little Janine recalls Grimer for Ariados, which Noctowl throws around. Ariados is like, screw this, and just fires webs directly at Noctowl, crushing its mobility, forcing Falkner to send out Skarmory. Ariados is too fast, wraps it up in webs, and it's not looking good for our Metal Man. Falkner is losing his composure. It was finally his moment to prove on the world stage message to everyone, including himself, that he belongs in this gym leader role, that he deserves to take over from his father and to defend the integrity of the Violet City Gym Challenge. He bangs the floor and his willpower allows them to break free from the binding webs. The fight is on. Actually, it's over because Janine sees what appears to be her missing father in the audience for a split second and chases him immediately, leaving the battlefield and forfeiting the match. Janine apologizes and gets emotional, stating that they are very much alike. I'll take the W for my guy Falkner. The tournament gets crashed by Team Rocket and their brainwashed grunts, so the gym leaders are forced to fight them off. Falkner is amongst these guys. After a long battle, they take out Team Rocket and the villains are out. For now, Falkner goes back to Violet City to continue facing challengers. Much later in the Heart Gold and Soul Silver manga, he's last seen being Morty's guard to protect him from weirdos. Then he gets knocked unconscious by Arceus. What a way to go out. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you made it this far, then I hope you will fly as high as Falkner. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and comment your favorite version of Falkner. I think the anime making him go toe-to-toe with Charizard was a hype introduction to the Johto region. See you all in the next one.